What is going on, New York Giants fans? D. Illa here. So I was on YouTube today just kind of going through, trying to look for some New York Giants content, trying to find something that I could listen to just to make the day go by. And I stumbled across Dash's video that he just put out today in regards to Myles Garrett and the fact that he wants to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, Cleveland's had a tough time putting a competent team around him. I can't say they haven't tried to do just about everything under the sun to try to make it happen, but things just haven't worked out there. This is a situation that I believe the Giants really need to continue to monitor over the next couple weeks, months, however long it takes for a conclusion to actually take place. Now, what I'm talking about here is going to revolve around Dexter Lawrence as to why the Giants need to pay close attention to this situation. And before you get all bent out of shape and you go down in my comments section and start ripping me a new one about how bad of an idea this is, go watch my video that I made last year in the offseason, and you'll understand exactly where I'm coming from when it comes to Dexter Lawrence. I said in that video, man, if this was a competing football team, if this team had it put together in any kind of way, I would never even think twice about trading Dexter Lawrence. But the Giants need to really try to hone in on what the compensation would be for Myles Garrett, because you have a player that is maybe not to the caliber of Myles Garrett. Even though a lot of this fan base out here tries to make it out like Dexter Lawrence is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and he's one of the best defensive linemen in the game. But if he's as good as everyone claims him to be, if he's as good as this fan base claims him to be, he should be able to get similar compensation to a guy like Myles Garrett. Regardless if he plays a completely different position, he's not an outside edge rusher, he's an interior guy, but he can still have the same effect on a defensive line that a Myles Garrett can. So essentially what I'm getting at here is the New York Giants need to use Myles Garrett as a bargaining tool to trade Dexter Lawrence. I'm sorry about all the different transitions in this video. I have very limited time when it comes to doing this stuff, so I'm just trying to piece it together as I go. But now that Myles Garrett has come out and made this announcement that he wants to be traded, all these NFL teams across the league, especially the competitive ones, they all have their antennas up. And they're all chomping at the bit. They're salivating at the fact that they could add a big-time defensive presence like a Myles Garrett to their defensive line. And this is now when the Giants need to undercut the Browns. This is the time to strike. Now that he's come out and he said he wants a trade, this is one of the most impactful defensive linemen this game has to offer. We have one also, according to this fan base and across the NFL. Me personally, I would never pay interior defensive linemen the kind of money that we paid Dexter Lawrence. It's been proven for years when it comes to the draft that you can draft very productive defensive linemen late in drafts. It's been proven for God only knows how long in this league. We never won Super Bowls paying interior guys big time money. We won Super Bowls paying our edge rushers. So I want you to put yourselves in the shoes of the team that's trying to acquire either one of these players. Look at Dexter Lawrence. He's got 3 years left on his deal. He's got like $80 million left on that contract. You could acquire him by giving us the draft capital, taking on his contract, and only having to pay him $80 million over the next 3 years. If you trade for Myles Garrett, you're giving up the draft capital, and he's going to want a new contract. His contract expires in 2026. He's not going to accept a trade without a new deal, most likely. And that deal is going to far exceed anything that Brian Burns got paid, I guarantee you. So you're talking 130 plus. For Myles Garrett, shit, you're probably talking 145, 150, if not more. So if you're that team looking to acquire one of these players and you're looking for an impact player to bring on your football team, what situation seems like the better idea to you? I know which one sounds better to me.